Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chi-Town Sports Podcast. I'm joined with Go Blue. I am Brad Hughesby. Got the ticker roll on the bottom for our fake ESPN or, whatever you want to call it. Our phony ESPN bottom ticker, but that's besides the point. Ben and I have a lot to discuss today. As you see in the title, I spelled, what did I spell wrong? I can't see it. I said he'd take a commanding 2-0 lead, and then it was something. It was about the NL Central. So if you see that, I'm sorry. Yeah, get that out of the way. Let's talk sports now. Let's get this grammar going better. Quick little warm up. Ben and I do not do warm ups before the show. Maybe Ben, we should start doing that. But regardless, the Heat last night looked sharp yet again. Of course, Bam was hurt. Was Goran hurt as well? Because I saw Chris Dunn getting a lot more action.
Goran Dragic was hurt.
Goran Dragic was hurt. Bam Adebayo was hurt. So that's two of their top 5-6 players. Bam's probably number 1 or 2. Definitely made a difference. It was 10 points, but it was more. It seemed like, by watching the game, I watched a good bit of it. It was not 10 points. It was a solid 15 throughout most of the game. And the Lakers were kind of up every single second. I don't think the Heat have what it takes to win the series, and I said that from the get-go. I think it's going to be a Lakers in 5 series. If the Heat can get Bam and Goran back, I'm not sure how severe those injuries are. I think they could maybe win Game 3. But they're not winning more than one game is what I have to say. Ben, what do you have to say about this series and what happened last night?
Well, Game 1 obviously was kind of a blowout, and that was with Heat at full strength. I think they played a lot better in Game 2, even though they did lose by 10 points, and there was really no question of if they were going to win that game. But I would say that Bam and Dragic are 2 of their top 3 players. I'm not trying to offend anyone with Tyler Hero, but I think that Dragic has been their 3rd best player for most of the season. So that's a really big loss to have 2 of those guys out, and I think they fought pretty well in Game 2, with Kendrick Nunn replacing Dragic. And Duncan Robinson shot terribly. I hate to say it. If they can just get the shooting turned around a little bit, get Bam back, get Dragic back. I don't know how serious those injuries are, like Brad said, but they could make it a series.
They could make it a series. Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero both played exceptional. I'm not going to lie. Tyler Hero, I think, had more points than anyone else in the first half. Maybe Jimmy had a little bit more, but that's just showing he was getting some slack. I was giving him some slack for his Game 1 performance. Minus 30 PER. That's the lowest in NBA history from any player. But he showed out in Game 2. Creds to Tyler Hero.
Yep. He's a good player.
He's a good player. Let's talk, Ben. MLB playoffs. Oh, my goodness. So
we knew this was coming.
I want to talk more about the NL Central. And I want to talk about the rest of the MLB playoffs afterwards. But the NL Central couldn't have had a worse postseason.
Disappointing.
Reds, 0 runs. Brewers,
Cubs.
0 runs, correct? The Brewers had 0 last night?
They scored 2. They scored
I didn't see the
2
score last night. Okay, so 2. Cubs, 1. Cardinals, they scored a good amount of runs, but the Cardinals are always good in the playoffs. So
the Cardinals look better than any other team in the NL Central.
Yeah, I agree. The only team the Cubs would have beat was the Reds, the Brewers. And the Marlins are not good. The Marlins
are terrible.
They're terrible. When you look at their lineup, the Cubs have more skill and more money by far. And we still can't beat them. And it was just a mess. We had guys on first and second, 0 outs. Guys, the bases could have been loaded, but then Wilson, of course, won on a bad job. It was a mess. And I'm not going to say I was surprised because the Cubs had an inability to do this all year. But getting swept at home by the Marlins is just
one run.
Scoring 1 run on a solo home run. It wasn't even like you got guys in. That was just horrible. Just horrible.
And I have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Cubs, people like their core, and 2016 was a great year. 2015 was a great year. Those young guys haven't really taken the next step, any of them except for maybe Javier Baez in 2017 and 18. And the Cubs just haven't seemed like a good – I don't think anyone's scared of the Cubs for the past 2-3 years. In the playoffs, lost in the NLDS, lost in the wild card, then didn't make the playoffs last year. They haven't really been a threat. I mean, they've been a threat to maybe make the playoffs, but they haven't really been a threat to contend for a World Series in 2-3 years. Maybe you think about making a trade. Maybe you think about grabbing someone. Like, I don't know. I don't know if this core can do it. I don't know.
And I agree with that. And I think we have a lot of talent for trade value as well. Trevor Bauer's going to be a free agent. John Lester's ending his prime. Quintana's injuries and his inconsistencies coming about. Alec Mills has shown that he's legit. And I think if we could we'll keep Hendricks, we'll keep Darvish, we'll keep Alec Mills. Maybe that 4 spot goes to Chatwood. He showed signs. If he doesn't work out, Albert Azole with another offseason of work for him, nearing his prime. And then put in Trevor Bauer or whatever ace we get.
That would be
that's a nuts starting lineup. Now, we're going to need at least 2 or 3 good relievers if we want to have a top 2, 3, 4 pitching core with starters and relievers, which I think we can do. Free agency, there are a lot of underrated relievers that you can get for less than 5, 6, 7 million. Get them on good deals. And, yeah, I'm content with the Cubs, but I think we're also going to need to let go of at least Javi or Chris Bryant. I didn't see Javi just look brutal at the end of the year. Chris Bryant looked better than him, but Chris Bryant I know has not. I honestly would not keep any of them, man. I wouldn't keep Javi. I wouldn't keep Chris Bryant. I think the Cubs will keep Javi, but I just don't. I don't think we should. I think we should try out another player. Try out a dude that doesn't swing for the fences every single back. That's not going to change our momentum, right? In 2016, we won because Ben Zobrist, clutch. Dexter Fowler, clutch. They get on base. Bodie has shown signs of that. I really needed Bodie to hit that with 1 out and Jay Hay at second. I thought Bodie was going to deliver. He didn't. And then Jason Kipnis came in. And anyways, I like Bodie a lot, and he can play second, third, and even a little bit of shortstop. So I really don't think we need to keep them, man. I think we need to go out for a big contact guy.
I read there was an article I read online about how Chris Bryant got hit in the head by a pitch in start of 2019, like May 2019 maybe, and he was not the same player after that. So it's possible that has affected his hitting a little bit. He's regressed since then, and I mean he's been injured a lot on and off, so it's hard to know how much of this is injuries, how much of it's ability. Baez is really concerning because he just looks terrible. And even Rizzo doesn't look that good. I don't know what's going on. Like, only Ian Happ and Jason Hayward impressed me this year at the plate. So there's some problems there.
I agree. I agree, Ben. I can't say I don't. I will say we need to play Nico Horner more. We got to give my boy.
I totally forgot about Nico Horner. Jeez.
We just didn't play him. I would rather have him in there than Javi Baez. I'm going to be completely honest. KB, he played decent in the playoffs. We got to give him that. I'm just looking over some free agents here. None that really go out to me. Didi Gregorius. They're all older, though. I don't know if we need older dudes. I feel like we make a trade for a 25, 26, 27-year-old guy.
I wish we had Louis. Or who do we trade? Eloy, or do we trade Luis Robert?
Eloy.
We trade
Luis Robert from the Red Sox and the Chris Sale deal. No one talks about that, and it's like one thing I know from I don't know. So I know.
I wish we had Eloy back. I wish there's some issues, and Gleyber Torres obviously in the deal with the Yankees for Aroldis Chapman. So there's some stuff that we
some questionable deals, but hey, we wouldn't have won the World Series without Aroldis Chapman.
That's true.
I'll take the World Series for a good prospect. I will take the World Series, and I think
you almost blew it, but we still won.
We won. If we wouldn't have done that, I would have been fuming. But let's talk upcoming matchups, Ben. Oh, also really quickly, for the rest of the postseason, I will be supporting the Oakland A's. Now, I'm going to tell you why. My mom's best friend growing up is Chad Pinder, Mr. Clutch's aunt, and my grandpa's best dad for, I don't know, since my mom was best friends with her, my grandpa was very close with her dad, who is Chad Pinder's grandpa. Chad Pinder's from Southern Virginia, as my mom. Went to my mom's rival high school, grew up there, went to Virginia Tech. His brother played at Clemson, his brother's in the Cardinals farm system. So I'll be supporting the A's. Actually, a few years ago when I was in the sports cards, because of this connection, I purchased a few Chad Pinder autographs and rookie cards, and their prices are probably going up decently right now. So I bought it just because I've always liked Chad Pinder a little bit, but now, since the Cubs and Sox are out, and my mom's always checking on the A score just because of her friend and the family. I don't know. Go A's just for Chad Pinder.
I might just root for the Marlins just because they're such an underdog.
It'll make
I know
the
they
Cubs
beat us.
look better.
Yeah, it'll make the Cubs look better, and no
The
one thinks the
bottom
Marlins
feeders.
can do it.
The bottom
Yeah,
feeders.
the bottom feeders. We'll see if that ends up.
I
Who
love
do
how
they play?
they
I
do
don't.
that.
They're playing.
They're playing the Braves. They're gonna get walloped.
Yeah. They will. Get
Honestly, the best series is either the Yankees or A's or Padres Dodgers. A's are gonna demolish the Astros. I think the Astros actually make it close, but I'm just saying that because I hate the Astros.
Well, the Astros have too good a team. Not like their record in the regular season was horrible, but their team is still quality. I mean,
I agree. And on that topic, also, the coach or the manager, what's his name? He's been on the Cubs. Dusty Baker. Incredible postseason manager. But regardless, Alex Cora and Alex Hinch. Alex Cora, the old Red Sox, somewhat cheater manager. And then, of course, Hinch, the biggest cheater known to mankind. They are two highly possible candidates for the Detroit Tigers managing vacancy. How do you feel about that, Ben? I hate it. I think the Tigers – think about if you're a Tigers long-term player. You've been there a few years. You're like, we're not very good, but a new manager, some good prospects, we'll be fine. We'll get back in a few years. And then they're like, you know what? We're just going to bring in a cheater that cheated against you. I don't want that. The manager isn't going to get any likes from any of the players. Isn't going to get any favors done. Like, I just don't like that at all.
I think Alex Cora is the biggest cheater. He was the one who kind of led the whole thing. He was the Astros bench coach during that whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And he also on the Red Sox, there were questions marks when he was their manager. I think AJ Hinch is slightly better. Obviously, still the Astros, he could have stopped it. But I don't think he was as guilty. I could see him joining a team because I think he's actually.
I could see him joining a team, but
I don't think Cora. I really don't
think
want
any of
Cora.
the players will like that.
That's true.
I'm gonna turn off the ticker here. 12 minutes, 50 seconds to the show. Thank you all for watching really quickly. MLB action returns on Monday, 4:07 Eastern, 1:07 Pacific. Holy moly! In California, it's going to be 92 and 96 for game time.
In terms of,
wow,
that is hot. Why would they have it in California?
I don't. So I had a few questions about that. Why would you go to California where the cases are pretty high right now?
And the wildfires.
Why don't you go to Arizona? Why don't you go to I've heard Colorado's gotten a little worse, but go to Arizona. Go to, I don't know, just don't go to California. I don't get that.
It's California and Arlington, right? Arlington, Texas. That's the other side.
Houston, San Diego, Arlington, which is Dallas basically, and LA. I'm not huge fans of that, but that's regardless. Next NBA action is it Sunday or Monday?
Sunday. No, it's Monday because if it's Sunday,
it's
that's
Sunday.
stupid.
Because people are just gonna watch football.
Why would they have games on Sunday? I didn't even know that the Heat played the Celtics Game 6 of their series. I feel
bad. The NBA is losing a lot of ratings right now. I don't know if you saw that, but they have a 35 decrease from last year's finals, which I get. I watched every single second of last year's finals, and I'll tune in for a quarter or two now.
Last year's finals were so much higher quality. The Raptors versus the Warriors.
The fans were going nuts. A Raptors postseason game is something I really want to experience. But anyways, I just people have seen the bubble. They know the bubble. There are no fans except for the 50 family and friends. There's no atmosphere to it, and we know the Lakers are going to win. I'm sorry, but And football's back, baseball's in its playoffs. There's a lot of other stuff going on right now, and I personally am all over football. I'm of course keeping up with MLB and NBA, but football is, I think, just what everyone is wanting. Ben, you're muted.
I'm muted.
You're good. Cut out.
The NBA playoffs I have not watched much of. I saw a little of the Cubs games. But other than that, I haven't been watching.
I was watching all the Cubs games, and I watched probably
I've
two
had
innings
class.
a game too. All
I've had
the
class
innings of
and I've
yesterday.
had practice, so I literally haven't been able to watch. But
Really quickly, my upset of the week this week. Last week, I had Mississippi State. It was on my Snapchat. Made a pretty big deal about it because 5.6% for Mississippi State to win. I called that hours before game time and an hour before Derek Stingley was ruled out. So just want to say that. Creds to me. But my upset of the week this week was TCU at Texas. 14-7. TCU is winning in the second quarter. All I'm going to say.
we'll see how it ends.
We'll see how it ends, but back-to-back upset predictions, and also my bold prediction was like my blowout prediction. I guess I'll do like a big game prediction. Texas A&M getting the socks rolled off of them.
Yeah, Texas A&M always is.
It's always a bad game. It was homecoming of last year, man. Remember that? We watched it before homecoming.
Before, yeah.
It was an awful game, but.
There's a topic that's pretty important. I think that we haven't addressed yet. COVID-19 and hitting the NFL is just. This is kind of a big deal now. Cam Newton tested positive. The Pats Chiefs have been moved to either Monday or Tuesday. Chiefs players have also.
They'll postpone it for this game.
And also, 3 more Titans have tested positive. The NFL is kind of having what the MLB had at the start of the season, where there's been a few outbreaks. They're going to have to manage it. I think they can, but it's a little harder in the NFL because there's players.
More people.
So many people, so many all close together. It seems like it's an easier way for the virus to spread. Colleges haven't had as big an issue, but the NFL has been struggling.
Because the NFL, when you're playing MLB, you're home for no more than a week, and then you're off probably so there are 30 home games, 30 away games. You probably spent 30 nights at home, correct? In the NFL, you have 8 home games. 8 times 7 is 56. That's 26 more nights with your loved ones. And it's not over the summer where school wasn't happening. Now schools are happening around the country. So these kids are at school. They can bring it home. Activities are happening more so than they were in the summer. I don't know. More things are happening, and the likelihood of the virus, especially with a bunch more players, practice squad players. There is no practice squad for the MLB. Well, there was the minor league sessions, but those were in another town. But they were on hotels. That's besides the point. But you get what I'm saying. Yes, really quickly, Pitt is down 7 to North Carolina State. I have high hopes for Pitt. Pitt's looking good this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but they're not looking good in this game. They're down, 17-10. Do they have the ball? No, they just kicked the field goal.
They just kicked the field goal. Yes, they did. D. Leary, dude, is playing phenomenal. 13-19, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. Florida's up. I expect Florida to win. Texas scored a touchdown. There we go. But I saw TCU. Can't back away from it.
Florida's up, but Florida's up by 3. It's not like they're home.
Ben, you want to wrap it up there, or anything else you want to say to the,
trying to think.
To the viewers?
Well, we'll just talk quickly a little wider news. Just Donald Trump has been hospitalized with COVID-19. I know that's not good news. It's not good news for anyone. You don't want the U.S. president to be hospitalized with any illness. Well, hopefully he gets better. And we'll just.
Here you go. He tweeted 7 minutes ago. I wanted to check his Twitter.
Trump did?
Doctors, nurses, and all the great Walter Reed Medical Center and others from likewise incredible institutions who have joined them are amazing. Tremendous progress has been made over the last 6 months in fighting this plague. With their help, I am feeling well.
He says going well, I think.
51K likes. I will like that as well.
Oh, man. Trump gets 700, so many likes.
For his COVID thing, he's 1.8 million.
Yeah.
That might be like the most in Twitter history. I'm not even lying. It will be probably by
Trump has more of a following than most politicians. I mean, he has an unbelievable
by far. He is. Let's check. I want to see him versus Obama because Obama
87 mil.
And Obama has 123 mil.
Oh my God. Jeez. Well, you knew
I mean,
Obama.
That's another 4 years in office and another 4 years post office.
Obama's an icon, though. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's debating that. Jeez.
He's an icon.
He's following 600,000 people. How is that? How is that?
What?
How is that?
How is that possible?
That doesn't even make sense.
That's probably like a glitch or a hack or something. I don't know.
There's no way that's possible.
Really quickly, Dave Remsen, Big Ten Network host, interview that's coming in approximately 2 days, Monday night. Love for you guys to join us.
If we have a time, that would actually be. I mean,
yeah, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, man.
I had not known.
I talked about that. All right, well, now you know. Now the viewers know. So tune in then. It'll probably get started about 5 minutes past that. We'll do introductions. We'll tell them our questions. I told them it would last less than 20 minutes. I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
And then maybe Ben and I can talk, post interview thoughts. And share our opinions on things related to the interview and not related to the interview. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, share. We will see you in the next episode.